What's up, Astro Nuts? It's Luna TheZenWitch here with a chart reading for you. Today I am looking at the full moon chart of October 1st, coming up quickly. Down in the bottom right, you know I like to start from the macro and dial down into the micro. So over here, the elements and modes, we have a strong predominance of fire and cardinal, which gives us an Aries chart signature. Now, looking at this chart, since we're going to ignore the house cusps, we can pair a little bit off for this Sagittarius midheaven. But we don't have angles in cardinal signs, so cardinal is going to stand. That is just coming from the planetary positions. So we've got 4 earth planets, we have 4 fire planets, we have 2 water, and 1 air along with the north node. The reason air is showing up a little more predominantly down here is because this chart has Aquarius rising, but that's only where I am, so ignore the house cusps. And of course, you're going to get the most meaning out of a full moon chart if you're looking at where that moon falls in your natal chart. But I don't know that, so you'll have to figure that part out for yourself. At any rate, let's look at what we got here. Kind of still have a splay pattern, so planets sort of splashed all over the chart. That just means that energy is not concentrated in any one sector of the chart. Of course, we still have this wad of Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. None of those are conjunct right now according to transit rules. Transit rules say we only give 2 degrees of orb, so that's the margin of error. Those planets are not within 2 degrees of each other, so we can't even consider that a stellium right now, really. It's just sort of a predominance of Capricorn since they're all in Capricorn. So that Capricorn energy is about structure, it's about tradition and dogma, and it makes us feel kind of draggy. Saturn, today, the 29th, as I'm shooting this, Saturn is stationary direct. Glory fucking hallelujah. It's now going to be easier to find your way forward. It's going to be easier to structure things. You might find yourself becoming clear on the things that you need to be responsible for, clearer on what your duty is under your circumstances. So Saturn being retrograde just gives this drag. It's just a supreme drag and a feeling of limitation. Now we feel like we can structure things and set goals and move forward somewhat. And we've only got a few more days until Pluto stations direct as well, and that's important. That wad is going to all come together again and hook up with each other. So we'll address that when it happens. Back to the full moon. Full moon is happening at 9 degrees of Libra. So of course the moon is in Aries, the opposite sign of Libra. If you have planets or angles at 9 degrees in your chart, you will likely feel an effect of this, particularly if those 9-degree planets are in air signs or cardinal signs. If they're in cardinal signs, you're going to be taking a square or opposition or conjunction. If they are in air signs, you're going to be taking a trine from that full moon. Okay. We have the moon conjuncting Chiron, so we could be feeling particularly vulnerable as far as our woundedness goes. Chiron represents the nature of your woundedness. Conjuncting that full moon, it just means that we get a little bit tender. Our woundedness gets a little tender and a little ouchy and easier for somebody to kind of poke at, all right? Let me see what else we have here. We've got a lot of inconjuncts going on. The sun is inconjuncting Uranus, and inconjunct is a call for adjustment. So what needs to be adjusted here is the relationship between our personal expression and creativity and our sense of rebellion. Our sense of just, fuck off and do what I want. So we need to adjust that and humanitarian response too. So our personal creative response versus our call to serve humanity. These things need to be adjusted. It's not really a versus, it's just get these things in proper perspective. Then we have a Mercury moon in conjunct. Let me see here. Yep, yes, Mercury moon in conjunct. That means that we have to adjust our emotional expression and our communication. So particularly since we're going to be feeling a little more vulnerable and ouchy with the moon conjuncting Chiron, and this does not give it is not a Chiron Mercury in conjunct. That's 3 degrees off. Okay, hold on a minute. That's beyond the 2 degrees too. We're actually closer to a Mercury in conjunct than a moon. Okay, forget what I just said. We're not under a moon Mercury in conjunct. I guess they are looking at that as the Chiron Mercury in conjunct. So the adjustment between our woundedness and how we communicate about that, our sense of I'm feeling wounded, I'm feeling victimized, and how we communicate that. Mercury is in Scorpio, which means we will communicate intensely and in black and white terms. Chiron in Aries says our woundedness, we can be extremely reactive about that. So please take a breath when you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling touched in the tender place, okay, in a bad way. Then stop for a moment and breathe for 10 seconds before you lash out verbally, before you slice somebody to ribbons and name them your abuser. Take time to think and adjust is what the message is there. What else do we got going on? I think those are the big ones. The sun-moon opposition, the polarity between Aries and Libra is mine versus ours, all right? Aries is all about I, me, mine, my motivation, my needs, my will, my feelings, my reactivity, all of that. And it's moon, so we can be feeling aggressive emotionally. Again, reactive. Cardinal signs react in the now. Aries is a cardinal sign. Moon in Aries says I flare up, I've got a hair trigger. The good news is you get over it quicker. So what we're going to have is people like aggressively ouchy. And the Libra sun pulls us to think about the other person before we splatter that ouchiness everywhere and let somebody else explain their side of it. So the Libra sun is about and what do you think and what do you feel, and being in harmony with others, being in good communication, in good social relationship, and in peace and harmony. So we are being called here to resolve our ouchiness and our woundedness and communicate about it in a diplomatic way rather than an intensive way. But the Mercury in Scorpio also says that when we communicate about it, we can get to the rock bottom of it and transform it. So the opportunity is here to communicate about deep emotional things in a transformative way. Communicating about deep emotional wounds in a transformative way. And that's a positive thing. Let's see. Anything else we got here? I don't think so. Nothing that they're calling out. We've got, no, I'm not looking at that. Interesting how, all right, there we go. We've got Saturn squaring Mars. Okay, I knew there was a big one in there I was missing. Saturn, Mars square. This makes people aggressively fucking grumpy. All right. We are just not feeling good in ourselves. We're not feeling peaceful. We're feeling reactive. We're feeling negative. Who can blame us, really? And this is just to be aware of that you balance it by consciously looking at how the glass is half full, by consciously doing gratitude practice. The Saturn Mars can talk about focusing on the lack of what I don't have and what's wrong and what's not right, and it just really is aggressively grumpy. So how do you balance that? You do things that make yourself feel good. You do things that are relaxing and restful. And again, gratitude practice is so key. We also have Mars squaring Pluto. Ouch. Okay, this is just aggressively aggressive. This is the tendency to want to win at any cost. This is the tendency to see things as a battle, and I will win, battle to the death. The battle is Mars, the to the death is the Pluto part. It is functioning internally because it's a square. So to that aggressive grumpiness, we add this aggressive tendency to want to make people over in our own image. I'm going to change you. Just give it up right now as a bad job because you can't. All right. Change yourself. Look at this grumpiness as a signpost to how do I need to connect with myself? How do I need to balance out my moods? How do I need to address the negative chatter that's going on in my head? Are there things that really are negative that are showing themselves that I need to be straight up about and look at clearly and accept as fact? So you do that, and then the rest of it that have been blown up as not fact, let it go, replace them with gratitude. All right. The to the death thing is just take a deep breath and relax. You don't have to do it to the death. Use this energy instead, looking at what can I do that is very active and transformative? What can I do to really take myself to a new whole headspace? Okay, get out there, work your body. Mars in Aries says work your body. That will help to move some of the extreme ways of thinking that Pluto kind of takes us to. All right. I think that's all I have to say about this full moon. With an Aries chart signature, it is a great time to kick something off, even though the full moon is culminating. So we're looking at what is coming to culmination, what is coming to fruition. You can also look at it as I'm going to kick off a vigorous cleansing and cleaning, because then we're going to be on the waning moon. Perfect time to clean things out, to clear things out, to diminish what's too much of a load for you. And that Pluto Mars square says no fucking mercy. I'm going to clean out the clutter now, and I'm going to do it with just a fucking guillotine. Just slash and burn. I don't need these things anymore. You can use that energy to do a massive clearing, mentally, physically, clearing of your space, working your body in the meantime. So I hope that was useful for you. I'm glad that we can't go out to bars and stuff right now, because it would be not a good time to be out at a bar. I think people would be getting extremely aggressive with each other and really ouchy and mouthy. So stay home, relax, clean out your closet, clear out some old crap that really, really, really needs to go, and celebrate the full moon, celebrate the reset, celebrate the fall. Okay, there's some information for you. Hope it was useful. If you found it useful, please subscribe. I do readings for the new and full moon every month, and I do daily unboxings of oracle decks and tools, plus all kinds of other stuff. More to come. I will see you every day for my unboxing. I will see you Wednesday for a live stream at 8:30. Until then, this is the Zen Witch. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and happy day. Blessed be.